Elon Musk tips struggling waiter $50,000 for a small act of kindness. It was a chilly evening in a small-town diner, the kind of place where regulars came for the familiar warmth of conversation, a slice of pie, or the comfort of hot coffee. The diner's neon sign flickered outside, casting a soft glow onto the quiet street, while inside, the scent of sizzling burgers and fresh-brewed coffee filled the air. It wasn't a fancy place, but it had charm-checkered floors, red vinyl booths, and a jukebox that hummed softly in the corner, playing old classics. Jake, a young waiter in his mid-20s, was nearing the end of a long double shift. His dark hair was damp with sweat, and his feet ached from hours of walking back and forth between tables. He wore a worn-out uniform, the fabric frayed at the edges, but his warm smile never faltered. Jake wasn't just a waiter. He was a son, a brother, and the backbone of his small family. Life had thrown him curveballs. His mother's medical bills were piling up, and his younger sister, Emily, was just months away from starting college. Jake worked tirelessly to support them, sacrificing his own dreams in the process. As the dinner rush slowed, the bell above the door jingled, breaking the quiet rhythm of the evening. In walked a man wearing a simple hoodie and jeans, his face partially hidden under the hood. He didn't draw much attention at first glance. He looked like any other traveler, passing through, perhaps a little tired, perhaps a little worn, but polite. He carried an air of quiet humility that Jake couldn't quite place. Jake greeted him warmly, as he did with all his customers. "Welcome in. Sit wherever you like," he said, gesturing to the booths. The man chose one by the window, where the cold night air fogged the glass slightly. Jake handed him a menu and asked, "Can I get you started with some coffee?" The man nodded, his voice soft but friendly. "Yes, please, black." Jake returned moments later with a steaming cup of coffee, setting it down carefully. "Here you go. Take your time." The man thanked him with a nod and glanced over the menu. After a few minutes, he ordered a simple meal, a burger, fries, and a refill of coffee. Jake jotted down the order and disappeared into the kitchen to place it. He returned to refill the man's coffee, making casual small talk as he worked. "How's your night going?" the man asked, his eyes kind but observant. Jake hesitated for a moment. It wasn't often that customers asked about him, and he wasn't used to sharing much about his personal life. But there was something comforting about this man's demeanor, something that invited honesty. "It's been a long day," Jake admitted with a soft chuckle, "but that's how it goes. Just trying to make it through the week." The man raised an eyebrow, encouraging him to continue. Jake sighed, feeling the weight of the day settle over him again. "I've been working a lot of extra shifts lately. My mom's been sick, and I'm trying to help her with medical bills. Plus, my sister's starting college soon, and I want to make sure she doesn't have to worry about tuition." Despite the weariness in his voice, there was no bitterness, only determination. The man listened intently, nodding occasionally but saying little. Jake finished refilling the coffee and was about to walk away when the man spoke again. "You've got a good heart," he said simply. "Not everyone would sacrifice so much for their family." Jake smiled, a bit embarrassed by the praise. "You do what you have to do," he replied. "Besides, my mom always said that kindness is free. Might as well spread it around." As the night went on, the diner grew quieter. The regulars had gone home, and the jukebox played softly in the background. The man finished his meal, and as Jake cleared the table, he did something he always did for special guests. He offered a small cup of tea. "This is on the house," Jake said, setting the cup down gently. "It's a family recipe. My grandmother used to say it could ease any worrying." The man accepted the tea with a grateful smile, sipping it in silence. He seemed lost in thought, gazing out the window at the darkened street. When he finally finished, he stood up, thanked Jake warmly, and left cash on the table. Jake picked up the check, expecting the usual modest tip. But something caught his eye, a plain white envelope left behind. Curious, Jake opened it and found a handwritten note along with a thick stack of bills. His heart raced as he read the message. "For your hard work and kindness. Keep being the light the world needs. E.M." Jake's hands trembled as he counted the money. $50,000. his breath caught in his throat. Disbelief washing over him, he glanced out the window, but the man was gone, vanished into the night like a dream. His manager, noticing Jake's stunned expression, walked over. "What's going on?" she asked, concerned. Jake showed her the envelope and the note, his voice barely above a whisper. "He left this. It's $50,000. Her eyes widened in shock. "Do you know who that was?" she asked, her voice hushed. It wasn't until that moment that the initials clicked. EM, the man he had served. The quiet, humble diner guest was none other than Elon Musk. The story spread quickly, first among the diner staff, then to the local news, and soon it went viral. Social media buzzed with the tale of Elon Musk's incredible generosity and the hard-working waiter who received a life-changing tip. When asked about the encounter later, Jake remained humble. "I didn't know who he was," he said, "but it wouldn't have changed how I treated him. Kindness is something we should give freely, not expecting anything in return." For Jake, the $50,000 wasn't just money, it was a second chance. He paid off his mother's medical bills, set aside funds for his sister's tuition, and even saved a little to pursue his own dreams. But more than that, the experience became a powerful reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Elon Musk's simple act of generosity transformed Jake's life, but it also inspired countless others to remember that, in a world that can often feel cold, a little kindness goes a long way.